So it's Christianity in magic, and I know a lot of videos explaining Christian witchcraft or Christian magic or Christian witchcraft, the many different types of witchcraft in Christianity mixed and involved together. There's been a lot of dispute on that particular subject in the craft, and with good reason. So here you have two separate things that are not to be associated, if you put it that way. So Christianity condemns magic, but yet Christianity also uses magic, but they don't call it magic. So Christianity, Catholicism, Mormonism, all these other Abrahamic religions all use prayer. And anyone who studies magic, who who uses magic, what is prayer? What is magic? Magic is active. It's what we put out into the universe. It's what we pray to come about. So magic is just us putting that intention into creation to help bring about manifestation of our soul desire. And this is my perception of it, not what anybody else kind of goes out and says. So Christianity, they have their prayers, their things that they do, like and yes, I am outside because it's a very nice, beautiful day. And in Christianity, they have their prayers, the Heavenly Father one that's good for like everything, which goes, "Who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth. Give us this day our daily bread, of our trespasses, as you forgive those who have trespassed against you. Lead us not into temptation." That's a very common and very powerful prayer that is used, along with the Hail Mary and all the other ones. So these these prayers in magic, they're you can basically say that Christians on a daily basis pray, but their prayers aren't about manifesting anything or manifesting what they desire. What they preach or what they pray is for blessings. So you can literally call it like the blessing way of the Native American cultures. Although it's two different distinct things, they are very similar with their output, with just blessings and do no harm. So in magic isn't black or white, but yet it can be used for either good or evil depending on the will of the caster, the will of the person. And with that, the witch is an herbalist, an alchemist, one who works with the elements, works with the divine to bring about manifestation. Whereas in Christianity, if you kind of look at it from their perspective, they would be someone who is more or less giving total control to the divine and leaving their prayers up to that divinity to answer. So it's kind of like they use prayer to create change, but yet it truly depends on the will of the God, or their God, I should say. So in all honesty and all reality, Christianity and magic has a lot more in common than what Christians and them believe. So take Christmas for example. Um, it was a pagan holiday. So to us, it's either known as Yule or Yulestice, the winter solstice, or Yuletide. And there's deep pagan beliefs that are attuned and tied to that. But then, in order to help conversion from paganism or witchcraft into Christianity, there have to be similarities. So if you look at all these different Christian holidays, they take February, for example, that kind of ties Candlesmas, or I think it's Imbolc. I think it's Imbolc, the Feast of Lights, I think. Sometimes I get the Will of the Year kind of mixed up on certain aspects, but I think it's Imbolc. But everything kind of lines up the same way. With our Will of the Year, turned it, twisted it to make it into something or agenda to switches. In Christianity, just reading the King James version or any other Greek or Aramaic. Reason being is those ones were mistranslated along the way, and the King James version was literally tampered by King James himself. And so, if you look at Christianity and you read through their prayers and you read through the Bible, the Psalms with all the prayers of Solomon are, I don't want to go out and spurt it out, but most of what's used for both blessings and cursing. And it's a very, very powerful verse, but those words were made by man, not by God, not by any other divine source. It could have been them channeling that information to make the Bible. They're consorting with spirits. But then if you truly look into Christianity and you get the white novella candles, the pillar candles, the saint candles, everything that they do, all the prayers, to magic, different rituals. The blood of Christ, drinking, eating the bread, which is supposed to represent blood and his body and yourself. That can be seen as both cannibalistic ritual or cannibalism in its own right, by not figuratively but iconically eating the bread that is supposed to represent the flesh of body of him, and then drinking the wine, which is supposed to represent Jesus's blood. So that kind of ties into the necromantic or necromancy arts within Christianity. And every time you light a candle and the priest says a prayer, that too is a form of magic. So every time, everybody does this, especially during birthdays. So if you tell your kids candle and make a wish, that's wish magic, birthday wish magic, I should say. And if done correctly, that wish can and will come true. And there's power in words. There's power in everything that we do or everything that we say. So we have to be very careful what we put out into the universe. And with Christian magic, it's literally the same thing. They're no different than any of us, the witches. But we witches have a god and goddess, the male and female. And it's not up to us to judge another's path. Just as in Christianity, do not judge lest ye be judged. And thou shalt not suffer a witch to live in the King James version. Let me explain this little skit part. But the thy shall not suffer a witch to live, which the term witch did not exist in that era. The term witch is that of an herbalist, an alchemist, someone who uses concoctions, potions, and elixirs to help heal. They were the wise women or the wise ones, if you will. But there's a whole another history to specifically that. The path to the witch, or rather I should say Wicca, or Wick, in today's terms, who follow the rule of three and you harm none, do what you will. Um, that in itself is the basic rules of Christian witches. They do no harm, but they also love unconditionally, love compassionately, and they work to bring out the goodness in other people. And I use Christian prayers and different forms of calling out the divine spirits, the archangels and angels. And in my practice, I change it up because to me, making your own prayer and making prayer unique works best. Just like any other form of magic, it is best that you create your own spells. So spells to me are like prayers, but prayers are more direct and it's more of what you need or what have you. It's the same thing like a spell. So it doesn't matter if you're white or black or how many of our gods that you worship. In Christian witchcraft, they have their god. Their god so happens to be not the Abrahamic God, but the God of love. Someone that they felt drawn to, some like Jesus Christ. They work with him. So what? It's the path of the Christian witch. Christian witchcraft involves the path of the witch included into that of Christianity. It's it's a revolving issue in the realm of magic between witches and Christians, and then Christians denying that you can't be a Christian witch, and the the witches saying that you can't be a Christian and a witch. It's just not possible. Well, I beg to differ. Because if a witch can worship many gods and be worshipping of the voodoo or the Voodoo gods, the dark gods, the gods of the Hinduism, and every other pantheon of gods, what is it to us to say what god that a witch can believe in and use in their own practice? So if you want to get into Christian witchcraft, I used to have a book on it called The Book of Blessings, and I forgot who it was by. But it was a very good book on Christian magic. It was a Christian spell book, or Book of Blessings, how the author put it. But it was a very good book. But that book kind of went on to a friend of mine for his path, because I knew it was for him. But that book had all sorts of different prayers from all over the Bible. So Christian witchcraft, Christian magic, is the same as any other tradition of witchcraft magic. So all this animosity to from the everybody else who says that you can't be a witch and a Christian. I beg to differ. Each and everyone has their path. Everyone has the path that is meant for them. If somebody wants to worship Jesus or God, let them. It's their path. It's their divinity. It's their deity. If they choose to worship the God, then so be it. It's up to them. It's their path. It's not for us to tell them what they can or cannot do with themselves. But those who say, and this goes for all the Christians on this particular part, that bring up the different Bible verses. If you have to truly, and I mean you have to truly, like truly get into the divine, the true meaning of the Bible. And one of my best advice on that specific subject is to stop fucking nitpicking the Bible, because that's how you throw shit out of context. If you give off a little sample of one little section, you can throw off the entire meaning of the entire fucking section. So quit nitpicking the Bible, because that only causes more confusion, more animosity, more chaos in the world. And that's not a good thing. I'll tell you this, because I've also worked with Jesus and I've worked with him. He's all about forgiveness, love, compassion, respect, dignity, humility. If you get down to his message, Jesus has loved all. Jesus was not Jewish, he was not Muslim, and he was not Christian. He was him. He in no way stated that he is the Son of God. He never once said that. That was created by man. He never said that he was the only way. And the reason being is because he knows and he knew that there are many ways to reach the divine, to reach the heavens. That's why he studied Hinduism, Buddhism, and all these other Eastern philosophies. So if you want to pull out the Bible and nitpick again, Moses was a magi or a magi, and he used the staff to part the Red Sea. Well, that's witchcraft, magic. He put the staff on the ground in Egypt, and it turned into a snake. That's transmutation. That's magic. Everything Moses did, talk to a bush, a burning bush, that can be a form of divination, foresight, clairvoyance. So let's take Solomon, for example. He who was blessed by God but beloved by Lucifer. He was given the light of illumination, the gift of knowing, the gift of knowledge by God. But Lucifer also had the gift of illumination. He used magic, Enochian magic, specifically to gain control of daimons, the nature spirits. Solomon had his seals that bound the Goetia entities to his will. That is magic. That's ceremonial magic, high magic. And that's some potent things with ceremonies. And that's something that I won't suggest to get into, lest you are very well prepared for consequences and you're willing to accept the consequences of your actions. Enoch, from the book of Enoch, he was gifted the gift of knowledge. He taught Enochian magic, or Enochian magic, the magic of angels. He gave about the Enochian sigils, the Enochian language, the language of the gods, or rather the language of the archangels and angels. He gave off that information to the mundane, the humans, and, well, the arcane humans, anyways, the spiritual, the magical, if you will. Take the three wise men that came to see Jesus at his birth in Nazareth. The three wise men, don't get me started on this one, but the three wise men read the heavens and knew of the coming of Christ, which, by the way, Christ isn't his actual last name. They knew of his coming when they read the stars. They followed the northern star, which led them to Jesus, or Yahshua, if he prefers that. But they followed the stars. That's astrology. And that's something that you're not supposed to do, along with divination, witchcraft, or what have you. The wise men weren't Christian. They were astrologers, philosophers. And you have all this use of prayer in the Bible. You pray to keep demons at bay, or keep entities of negative vibration away. That's protective magic. You're using magic or prayer to protect yourself from some form of energy. In all honesty, Christianity and magic literally can be used hand in hand. The archangels of the four directions. Excuse me. So you have the Archangel Raphael to the east, the element of air, who of the angels, which is also known as he who heals. Then you have to the south Michael, he who is like God, and he's the angel of fire, who holds the flame of illumination and truth. Then you have to the west Archangel Gabriel, and the elements of water. And then to the north is Archangel Uriel, the angel of the earth. The four elements, the four representations. So, one of the best protection prayers that I created specifically for myself. I'm going to share it with you guys. If you're into using Christian magic, so it would actually translate and correspond into this particular said prayer. So, Archangel Raphael of the East, I ask for your divine protection and the ability to heal, to enter into my circle henceforth, to protect me from all energies that may come to do me harm. I call upon Archangel Michael from the south to be here with me now, to stand guard within my circle, to guard and protect me from all unwanted energies that may come to do me harm. I call to Archangel Gabriel of the west to step into my circle to bring about the divine healing waters, to help guard and protect me from all unwanted energy. I call to Uriel of the north to step into my circle, to bring about the energies of the earth, to stand firm and ground me, so that way I am protected from all energies that may come to do me harm. To the above, where all the angels sing in harmony with creation, I invoke the divine blessings of Yahshua and the angels and the rest of the archangels to stand forth within my circle and protect me from all energies that may come to do me harm. Amen. That is one prayer. But I have like so many more that I do that I created specifically for protection, and I have them all separate in different versions. So it's personal prayer, personal heartfelt from the heart type of prayer. So that's the same thing with Christian witchcraft. The body is the temple. So you don't have to go to church. You don't have to continuously stick to the Bible. Follow your heart, because the book, the Bible, isn't the only truth. And I say this because light is but half the truth, and the book was made by man. The only way you're going to really get to know or understand God is if you stop and listen and be in the silence of the mind and truly ask and truly pray to God, the angels, the archangels, to Yahshua himself, and ask for a sign. Ask them to give you something that will be irrefutable proof of their messages to you. Trust in your heart. Trust in what you feel. Trust in what you're guided to. Don't let any other people tell you what you can and cannot do. Because the path of magic, the path of witchcraft is ever changing. It's infinite, and there's different paths to follow. There's different ways that you can do things. Everyone's unique, and it's best to remain unique, because that's where the fun is. The fun is being who you are, being true to yourself, and not sticking to what other people want you to be. Don't be what other people wish you to be. Don't stay within the norms, because that becomes bland and it becomes boring, and you lose sight of what's true and what's not. So if you really want to do things and you really want to understand, go out, read the Bible. If you're into Christianity and magic, read the Bible, but work to understand it, not to take it as it is. Take it with a grain of salt, and just dig as deep as you can to figure out what it means to you. Follow what you feel is right, because your path is yours and yours alone, and your connection to the divine is for you and you only. So take what I say with a grain of salt, and just do what you feel guided to. Take my words and wisdom, and just take what you like. Take what you feel is right to you. And if you wanna say things, let me remind everyone, we are all unique. We all have our path. I have mine, you have yours. I have free will, you have free will. And this is my wisdom to give out. Because I really dislike how everyone says that you can't be Christian and you can't be a witch at the same time. They're polar opposites. No, they're not. They're really much hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. And for everyone who says that Christians or Christian witches are blind to the truth, no, they're not. So if you guys are interested in learning a bit more on Christian witchcraft, I do suggest that you check out Valerie Love and her channel, or Kaiser, or Kaisa. I forgot how you pronounce it, but she's also a very lovely Christian witch, and I actually do enjoy her videos on Christian witchcraft. and her interpretation of the Bible. So once I finish, I'm gonna have her channel linked down below for you guys to check out. So feel free to like and subscribe and leave comments down below on any questions that you may have, or even any advice, or even any suggestions on upcoming videos, or videos that you want, or things that you wish to know about the craft or anything else. So with that said, you guys, love and light and blessed be.